Imagine you're standing in a dealership. To your left, a massive Silverado that barely fits in a standard garage. To your right, a compact truck that feels like it's from the 90s. Then you see it, the Chevrolet Colorado. It looks aggressive, it's packed with tech, and it's sized just right. But there's a problem. Chevy just killed the V6. They killed the diesel. And owners are reporting that a simple software update can brick the entire truck. Is the 2026 Colorado a mid-size masterpiece or a high-tech headache waiting to happen? Let's get into it. For decades, the recipe for a real truck was simple: a massive frame and an even bigger engine. If it wasn't a V8, it was at least a beefy V6. The Colorado started its life back in 2004 as a replacement for the legendary S10, trying to prove that you didn't need a tank to get the job done. But for years, the Colorado lived in the shadow of its big brother, the Silverado. It felt like a budget option: cheaper plastics, older tech, and a design that felt a bit soft. When the third generation launched, Chevy made a radical choice. They threw away the old blueprints and decided to go all in on one engine and one cab style. No more long beds, no more extended cabs, just one configuration. That gamble paid off. The current Colorado doesn't look like a junior truck anymore. It looks like it wants to punch the Tacoma in the face. By streamlining the lineup, Chevy focused all their energy on making one frame that is incredibly rigid and one interior that actually feels like it belongs in the 21st century.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. If you open the hood of any 2024, 2025, or 2026 Colorado, you aren't going to find a V6. You're going to find a 2.7-liter turbocharged four-cylinder, specifically the Duramax. On paper, four cylinders sounds like something you'd find in a Malibu, not a truck meant to haul 7,700 pounds. Truck purists lost their minds. They missed the reliability of the old 3.6-liter V6 and the towing grunt of the Duramax diesel. There's a massive fear that these highly stressed small engines won't last past 100,000 miles, especially when you're pushing 20-plus pounds of boost just to get up a hill. Here's the reality. This engine is a beast. It's the same block used in the full-size Silverado, meaning it's over-engineered for a mid-size truck. We're talking about 310 horsepower and a massive 430 pound-feet of torque. That's more torque than the old V6 and the diesel. In the real world, this means the Colorado doesn't hunt for gears, it just pulls. Whether you're merging on the highway or crawling over rocks, the power's always there. And the updated 8-speed transmission finally feels smooth instead of hesitant. Chevy realized that most people buying mid-sized trucks today aren't just going to Home Depot, they're going to the desert. So they created a ladder of off-road trims, starting with the Trail Boss. The problem is, as you move up the ladder, the price starts to look a lot like a full-size truck's MSRP. The Trail Boss gives you a 2-inch factory lift and a wider stance, but the interior is basically a plastic work truck cabin. Then you have the Z71, which adds the luxury but loses some of the raw off-road edge. But then there's the ZR2. The ZR2 is where things get legendary. It features Multimatic DSSV dampers, which is fancy talk for suspension that belongs on a trophy truck. But if you want the ultimate, you go for the ZR2 Bison. Developed with AEV, it comes with 35-inch tires, boron steel skid plates, and 12.2 inches of ground clearance. It is arguably the most capable off-road truck you can buy from a showroom today, period. It makes the Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro look like a toy. Inside, the Colorado is a tech lover's dream. You get an 11.3-inch touchscreen with Google built in as standard. It's fast, it's crisp, and it looks amazing. But this high-tech approach has a dark side. Owners of the recent models have reported some horror story glitches. Because the truck is so reliant on software, over-the-air updates have been known to freeze mid-install, draining the battery and leaving the truck completely dead in the driveway.
Some owners have even reported the roof of the truck caving in under high-pressure blowers at automatic car washes. It's these weird new age problems that make people question if Chevy traded durability for gadgets. Luckily, Chevy has been aggressive with software patches. The 2025 and 2026 models have seen significant improvements in how they handle these updates. Plus, the tech gives you things you can't get elsewhere, like 10 different camera views, including underbody cameras that let you see exactly where your tires are on a rocky trail. It's a smart truck that actually uses its brain to help you drive better, provided you keep an eye on those software notifications. Most of us aren't rock crawling every day. We're commuting, dropping kids off, and hitting the grocery store. The mid-size truck segment is notorious for having cramped back seats. In the Colorado, that's still mostly true. If you're over 6 feet tall, sitting behind another 6-foot-tall driver is going to be a knees-to-chest experience. And because Chevy moved almost all the controls, including the headlights, into the touchscreen, there's a learning curve that can be frustrating when you're just trying to drive home in the rain. However, the ride quality is arguably the best in class. Because the frame is so wide and the suspension is so well tuned, the Colorado doesn't skitter over bumps like an old-school truck. It feels planted. The seats are surprisingly comfortable for long hauls, and the Multi-Flex Tailgate, which has a built-in lockable storage compartment, is one of those "why didn't everyone do this" features that makes daily life much easier.
So we've looked at the power, the off-road prowess, and the tech glitches. Where does that leave us? If you're looking for this safe bet, you'll probably look at a Toyota Tacoma. People buy Toyotas because they want a truck that will still be running when the sun burns out. The Colorado is the risky choice. It's got a turbocharged engine under high pressure, a cabin full of complex screens, and a history of transmission shutters that Chevy claims to have fixed. But here's the thing. The Colorado is simply more fun to drive than the competition. It's faster than the Tacoma, it tows more than the Frontier, and it looks better than the Ranger. If you want a truck that feels like a modern piece of performance machinery rather than a piece of farm equipment, the Colorado is the clear winner. Just maybe skip the high-pressure car wash and keep a jump starter in the glove box for those OTA updates. The Chevrolet Colorado has come a long way from its humble S10 roots. It's no longer just a small truck. It's a specialized tool for people who want capability without the massive footprint of a heavy-duty pickup. It has its quirks, sure, but in a world of boring vehicles, the Colorado actually has some personality. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Chevy Colorado, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us keep making these videos. Also, drop a comment below. Would you trust a 4-cylinder engine to tow 7,700 pounds, or are you staying away until the V6 comes back? Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.